Well, good morning, everyone. Well, as promised, today we're going to talk about the titanium strings. I actually changed them out on this guitar this morning. And I did some, sorry, I shouldn't be drinking coffee in front of you, especially good coffee, the kicking horse kind. It's good coffee. But anyways, I changed out a set of elixirs that were on this. I used, before I had 5312s on them, I had the PolyWebs. I like the PolyWebs. I think they're mellow sounding. And so I used those before, and I actually did a clip of the guitar just through a microphone. I didn't use the pickup because it's a Fishman, and it definitely would, you would know if you're listening to the pickup or to the strings. So we're just moving through a microphone, and it's going out to my Bose amp and being picked up by an iPhone, which isn't the best. It's not super scientific, but hey, you know, it's still, it's a comparison. We have a baseline to compare to. So anyways, I did have elixirs on there, and I changed them out to these titanium strings, titanium core strings. I did notice there's a difference in the gauge of the string. The low string on these has a gauge of 0.055, where the low string on this one has a gauge of 0.53. And as you go through the strings, pretty much that's what I'm seeing is anywhere from 0.03 to 0.02 difference in the string gauge, the titanium being a little higher, just a slight higher gauge. But they call these, both are called lights, okay? So when I put them on, that's the next thing I noticed was that string gauge difference made a difference in the feel because the action is just slightly higher. I actually measured it out, and across the strings, it went up 0.01 inch. So it's not huge, and actually to change that is nothing. All I have to do is get the hex key and put it in here, and just maybe a quarter of a turn to the, you know, clockwise. It'll bring those strings, bring the neck back just a hair, and bring the strings down to where they were before. But you know what? It's not that bad. It's 0.09 here at the 12th fret. And it goes to 0.0, to the low is 0.07. And I like the feel of it. I like it being a little higher anyway, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to change it simply because I don't like string buzz. And that really is a low action. That's a very nice action. It has a different feel. And we're going to do a comparison about that. I also, when I was stringing them up, I took a couple of video clips to show you how I strung them out, how I do my stringing. They're just real short, it's like 20 seconds. Just in case you're wondering how I do my wind, this is how I do it. I pull it tight, and then what I do is I come up here and pinch just at the B string, or the B peg, and then I just move it back right there. See that? That's the distance that I use right there, okay? And then what I do is I wind to the outside underneath the leftover piece here, and then I wind it up. I pull this so that it bends, and I wind it up. I don't do anything more than that because when I take these strings off, I want them to just pull off real easily. I don't want them to get caught with knots and twists and ties. It's real clean, and for me, this is work. They don't slip as long as you bend them. Personally, I don't think they slip at all. Okay, so that's how I do it. Let's hear how these sound. Still ringing. Okay, I'm going to tune this up and we'll be ready to go. But it showed you a couple. I've also have some snapshots of what the ends look like and how easy they wind, because I noticed when I put them on, they're very smooth feeling. And I had no problem whatsoever getting those to wind up, wind even. You know, when I pull up on the end of what's left on the tuning peg, you know, it bends really nice, holds in place. I didn't notice any problems with stringing it up. In fact, it was very smooth. It was just very smooth putting these strings on. They went into I know that the peg and the end of the string is different, so I wondered how it was going to catch hold. Because what I like to do is when I put them in here, I bend them a little bit. And just before I put the pins in, I like to get it to catch on the bottom side of that bridge plate. And it will too. If you play around with it, you'll feel it catch. And then stick the pin in on top of that. And so then it's tight. It won't come flying out on you when you go to tune everything up. So anyways, enough talking about that. So I'm just going to play some clips. I already have the pre-clips. You'll play the pre on the strumming, the pre on the finger style, and I'll do the same thing and see if you can hear a difference. But I'm going to tell you, well, I'm not going to bias your opinion. Let you listen first, okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, so what'd you think? Okay, so here's what I think. a scale of 1 to 10, boy, it's hard to say because I like these strings. I really do. And it's not because I have expensive taste, because I'm retired and I'm budget minded. I first of all like the tension of the string, the way it feels under my fingertips. I feel like I have string underneath them without a real heavy string. You know, when I go up to a medium, it bothers me. I don't know why. If I go to an Elixir medium, I don't like the feel. I would love to be able to go up higher because you get more tone out of a higher gauge string, I think anyways. Especially for fingerstyle, but I don't like the way it feels. Where this is a little bit higher. And I think it feels really, really comfortable. As far as the sustain on this is endless. It's much higher. It's not because when I played before, you don't hear that sustain, and I'll have to give it their older strings that were on there. Not that old though. They were not that old. I mean, I had probably just changed them about probably a week and a half ago, and I really didn't play the guitar much, so they're not that old. But this is a significant difference. This is in the sustain. It just goes on and on. You hear that? It's beautiful. Now, as far as the depth of the tone, they're warm, very warm sounding. And you know what? That is one thing in my style of playing that I really appreciate. I like a warm style. I like that warm sound. It's not buzzy, it's not twangy, it's not all high end. So if I was going to give it a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say 9, not because I know why. I'm afraid to give it a 10 because nothing's perfect. But these strings are really very good. I love the feel. I like the wind on it. It's smooth. It's not a squawky sounding string. You know how you get your hands on strings? You can hear it a little bit. That's the reason why I always liked Elixirs, is because when I move up and down, I don't get a lot of squawking. The strings are coated, and it makes them being quiet, and you're just listening to the sound of the string, the playing, and not, you know, somebody moving up and down every time they go. It goes. I don't like that. So yeah, these are really nice strings. Now, it comes back to that question about cost. Would you pay $40 for a set? I have to give these time on here and see how long they last. I looked at some reviews. I kept seeing reviews of the strings breaking. To be honest with you, I can't imagine why they would break, because I put these on and I never got any feeling that there's any weakness in these strings at all. In fact, anything, they're built so well, I suspect they'll stay for a long time. So why they were breaking on people, I have no idea. And maybe that was early on. Maybe they've made some changes. I don't know, but I did not notice any weakness in these strings. They are not brittle. When I cut them and put them on the wind and wound them up and everything, there was nothing about the way they wound that made me think, oh, be careful, that's bending, it might break. Nothing. So I'm not sure exactly what that's all about. So that's going to take time. So given that, so far, I've got it at the 9 level, which is very high for me. I think they're really good strings. Titanium, I imagine, is pretty expensive. So I suspect that's why they are expensive. So would I buy them? yes, I probably would. If they last twice as long as my Elixirs, because they say they don't corrode as fast, if they last twice as long, then it's well worth it, because I like the tone, I like the feel, I like the sustain. I think they're great strings. That's just my personal opinion. I know I laughed at the price. I laughed at it and said, oh no, there's no way. But if I would I buy them every time? No, I can't afford that. I wish I could, because I would use them all the time. But I'd go broke putting strings on my guitar paying this kind of money. So no way would I do that. But would I do it for a special occasion? Oh yeah, I would. If I was going to record something in a studio, or if I was going to go do a real special whatever, I would go get these and put them on my guitar. So for that reason. But other than that, I can't afford to do anything different. Not because I wouldn't want to, because I simply can't afford $40 for a set of strings. Inflation is painful. Anyway, so there you go. The titanium core Martin strings. Let me know what you think. Have you tried them yet? It's worth a try. Give it a try. Put them on one of your real nice guitars. Give it a try and let me know what you think. Just maybe a one-time splurge. Or maybe that's a birthday present for you. Ask somebody to get it for your birthday so you can try them out. And let me know what you think. I'd like to hear others' opinions. All right, well, that's that. Now, there's one other thing that I was going to talk to you about. And it has to do with that little Breedlove that I bought, that I was having trouble with the pickup. And I don't know if you go back and listen to the old video. I bought it on eBay and it came back and the pickup didn't work. Well, I figured out what was wrong and I've remedied the problem. And tomorrow's video, I'll share with you, that particular journey, and perhaps by that point I'll have it all fixed up perfect so that I can show you that it does work. And I think I fixed it for $35. So that's really good. So that's coming up. And the other thing is that the date is set for going on a road trip and visiting the mom and pop shop guitar stores. I'm going to be doing the northern loop of the United States to start with. And so I do have a list of things that I'd like to go see down south, especially down southern areas on the coast of California. I really want to get down there too. But we're going to start this way because the trip is going to be about 2 weeks long. It's not a super long one this time. But if you have any stores that you think I should stop and visit, please let me know. Any of them, even any place in the United States you think you should visit this store. I don't want the big giant Sweetwaters and guitar centers and what have you. I mean, those are great places. I do agree. It's nice to be able to go into those types of warehouse places and buy things for good prices, but they don't have the quaintness that these neighborhood stores have that I've enjoyed through my life, going in and talking to people and trying out different instruments. And it was a place of community. It was a complete place of communication with other musicians and what have you. And it's sad to see it change. So I'm going to be visiting them. I'm going to be videoing them, bring you along with me. But let me know if you have any ideas. Please share them with me. All right. Thank you so much. And go get yourself a really good cup of coffee. I'm going to finish mine. And I hope you have a great day out there wherever you are in this world.